All right, diving right in today, we're exploring AI-powered pitching. Got excerpts from AI-powered pitch. Pretty interesting stuff.
Mhm.
They're saying AI isn't just for automating tasks.
Yeah, no, it's like they're saying it can actually make you more creative,
Yeah,
even with something like, pitching to investors, which you think would be like a very human thing.
right.
But they use Steve Jobs as an example, which I thought was really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about a master storyteller, right?
Hmm.
The reality distortion field, legendary.
Exactly. But could you imagine if he had AI back then,
Oh, man.
like to fine tune his message even more?
It'd be even more like off the charts.
Yeah.
So are you saying AI could have given him like almost a sixth sense for what investors wanted?
Yeah, like imagine if he could analyze market trends or even predict what questions investors would ask before they even, thought of them.
It's like he'd be even more Jobsian.
Exactly. And here's the thing. These principles they're talking about, it's not just for, tech gods like Steve Jobs. They say it can apply to anyone with a great idea,
Really?
even if you haven't built the product yet.
So even if I'm sitting here right now thinking, wait, I don't even have a prototype yet, this book is still relevant to me.
Absolutely. Because it all boils down to what investors really care about.
Okay, and what's that?
Market potential,
Okay.
product scalability, and can you be a strong leader? Those are the three pillars.
Yeah, that makes sense. But like, especially early on, those can be really hard to prove.
Yeah,
Like, how do you actually demonstrate that when you're just getting started? Is that where AI comes in?
that's exactly where it comes in. They use examples like Airbnb and Dropbox
Hmm.
to show how AI tools like, ChatGPT
Okay.
can help you build that narrative, even if, like you said, you don't have all the answers figured out yet.
So say, hypothetically, my product's still in its early stages. How would I actually use AI to make it, I don't know, sexier for investors?
Okay, let's say you're building an AI productivity app, right? You can actually go to ChatGPT and be like, okay, how do I show investors the market potential of this?
Mhm.
Or even get super specific, like what kind of data would really impress a VC who's into sauce?
Oh, wow.
And ChatGPT can look at market trends, at your competitors, at like funding patterns
So
easier.
it's like having a little AI consultant whispering in your ear before you even walk into the room.
Exactly. You don't have to be a data scientist or anything. It can just kind of pull out those insights and present them to you in a way that, speaks investor.
I like that. Okay. So we've got the data side of things, but what about like the actual story?
Because investors aren't investing in spreadsheets, right?
Right.
They're investing in an idea,
A vision.
a vision.
Sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the book talks about structuring your pitch like you would a story,
Oh,
taking investors on that journey
okay.
from here's the problem to here's the solution.
And they actually give examples.
They do.
Okay.
Uber and Pinterest, which I thought were really good ones.
Yeah, because those are such like, how did we live without it kind of
Yeah.
things. So I'd be really curious to see how they break that down.
Yeah, like take Uber, for example.
Yeah.
You could easily fall into the trap of saying, oh, hailing a cab is so annoying,
Right.
right? But they talk about how Uber actually went deeper and they said, no, urban transportation, like the system is broken.
It's like positioning your solution as, of course, this is the future and we're making it happen.
Exactly. It's not just a band-aid. It's like we're solving a fundamental
I
problem.
like it.
Oh,
Okay, so you've got me convinced. I've got my story, I've got my data. But then comes the really scary part, investor questions.
yeah, that's where it gets real, right? The Q&A.
Because anyone can kind of like hide behind their pitch deck.
Yeah,
But when the questions start flying,
exactly.
that's when you really see like what they're made of.
You're really being put on the spot.
Yeah. And the book actually talks about how nerve-wracking this part is, especially for like, first-time founders.
Oh, absolutely.
But they also say that the Q&A can actually be like your secret weapon, which I thought was kind of an interesting take.
It is because it's your chance to actually show you've thought about these things,
Okay.
that even the tough questions, you have answers.
So it's like turning it around, making it a positive.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does AI play into this? How do we go from like Q&A anxiety to, totally crushing it?
Well, think of ChatGPT as like your practice buddy. You can literally ask it, what are the toughest questions investors are going to ask me about my company?
Oh, well.
Or even about like the product specifically. And then you can even simulate an entire Q&A.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Have it be a skeptical VC grilling you.
So say I'm really worried about my startup's ability to scale. I could be like, ChatGPT, grill me on scalability.
Exactly. And you can even give it details about the actual investors you're pitching to.
Oh, wow. Get that specific.
Yeah, like their background, what they usually invest in, and it tailors the questions.
So it's like you've got a little crystal ball and you know exactly what they're going to ask.
Exactly. It's all about being as prepared as possible.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of preparation, I want to circle back to data for a second
Okay. Yeah.
because it's one thing to be like, our product's going to be huge, right?
Right.
But you got to back that up with actual numbers.
You need the receipts.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the book talks a lot about this. They emphasize, yeah, investors love data, but you can't just like throw a bunch of numbers at them and expect them to like get it, you know?
Right.
It's about creating a story with the data.
So it's not just the numbers, it's like the narrative behind it.
Exactly.
Okay, so how does AI help me become like the Steven Spielberg of data storytelling?
Well, let's say you've got all this data, right, on user engagement, and it's kind of all over the place.
Well,
Instead of just listing off all the numbers, use ChatGPT to help you figure out what it all means.
okay.
Like, what's the story these numbers are trying to tell me about my product?
Oh, I like that. So it's like you've got this AI storyteller
Yeah.
who can take these raw numbers and be like, boom,
Mhm.
here's the meaning behind it.
Exactly. And remember, like, visuals are huge too.
Okay.
Like, a tool like Tableau, or even just like a good chart can really help investors actually absorb the information.
So instead of just saying our user base is growing, I can show them like a line graph that's like shooting up to the moon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can even use AI to like analyze those visuals
Right.
to make sure they're as impactful as possible. Like
Right.
ask ChatGPT, what's the main takeaway from this graph? Or how do I present this to really emphasize our growth potential?
It's like having a whole team of like data visualization experts just on call at all times.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So we've got the data, we've got the story, but just like, Steve Jobs famously rehearsed his keynotes,
Oh, yeah,
we've got to practice this pitch, right?
absolutely. Practice is key for anything.
Even for Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah, especially when it's high stakes like this.
Okay, so how do we make practice less painful?
Mm.
Because standing in front of a mirror, it can get old.
Well, this is where AI can actually make it fun.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about ChatGPT simulating a Q&A?
Yeah.
You can use that for practice too. Like, imagine you're about to go in and pitch to like a really tough investor.
I know the type, like steeples their fingers,
Yeah.
you can see the look.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell ChatGPT all about them, their style, what they're known for,
Oh, wow.
and have it role play as them while you practice your pitch. Like, it'll throw those curveball questions at you.
So it's like having a personalized pitch coach.
Exactly.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But what about like my actual delivery? Like, am I like fidgeting too much? Am I talking too fast?
There's actually AI tools that can help you with that too.
Right.
Yeah, they analyze your tone of voice, if you're using too many filler words, all of it.
It's like having a little speech coach in your pocket.
Exactly. So you can see AI can help you with every single part of this process.
Yeah, it's like having this whole team of experts, but they're all AI.
Exactly.
That's really cool. But at the end of the day, it still comes down to the founder, right?
Absolutely.
Like AI can help you polish the message, but you're the one who has to deliver it with, passion and conviction.
It's that human element that really seals the deal.
Exactly. So we've got the data, we've got the narrative, we practiced it a million times. How do we actually like stick the landing? How do you wrap up a pitch in a way that makes investors want to like sign on the dotted line right then and there?
That's $1 million question, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is because you can nail everything else. But if you don't end strong, it's like all for nothing.
Exactly. And you don't want to just be like, please give me money.
Right. No one wants to feel like they're being begged.
Exactly.
So how do you strike that balance? How do you make the ask without, sounding like you're begging?
Yeah, the book actually uses Slack as a good example here.
Yep.
They didn't just say, oh, we need money, so invest in us,
Right.
It was more like, hey, we're changing how people work and you can be a part of this.
So it's about selling them on that bigger picture, not just like the immediate return on their investment.
Exactly. It's like, this is bigger than all of us.
And again, can AI help with this part?
For sure. You can literally ask ChatGPT, how do I make my funding request, more exciting? Or what data would really support the amount of money I'm asking for?
It's like having a closing expert on speed dial.
Right.
It's amazing. But it all goes back to that human element, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like AI can help you refine the pitch, but you're the one who has to deliver it with passion, with that like true belief in your vision.
That's what investors are really buying into at the end of the
It's
day.
exactly.
And that's what this whole book has been about, right?
Yeah.
AI isn't here to replace us. It's here to give us the tools to be better.
To be better communicators, to connect on a deeper level.
Exactly.
It's like AI is your co-founder in communication, just like the title of the book says.
It's a great way to put it. Think about it.
Yeah.
You're the one with the vision, the drive, your market inside and out, but AI can be right there with you, helping you polish that message, getting you ready for anything investors might throw at you.
So it's not about ignoring your gut or like trying to be someone you're not.
Right.
It's more like AI can take what makes you unique, what makes your vision special, and help you communicate that more effectively.
Exactly. And honestly, those skills aren't just for pitching to investors.
Right.
Think about pitching to customers, recruiting the best people, even just communicating with your team better.
It's like AI is leveling up your communication skills, period.
Yeah, like across the board.
Wow, that's pretty huge.
It's a really exciting time to be an entrepreneur, I think.
It is. We've covered so much ground today. We've gone from like the magic of Steve Jobs presentations to like crunching data like pros and even giving our pitch practice a serious upgrade.
It's a lot to process.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you really hope our listeners take away from all of this?
I hope they walk away feeling empowered, not intimidated, because this stuff, it's not just for like the tech giants or, super technical people.
Right, it's for everyone.
Anyone can use this.
You've got an idea, you've got a story to tell. AI can help you do that.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to experiment with these tools. See what works for you.
Have fun with it.
Yeah,
Because just like Steve Jobs made all this complex technology, easy and fun to use,
yeah,
that's what AI is doing for communication right now. And that's pretty incredible when you think about it.
it is. It really is. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI-powered pitching. We hope you got some great takeaways and are ready to go out there and, conquer the world with your ideas.
Go get them.